Archangel Michael says, "Do not panic, my child, but listen closely. There's a paper on a desk right now with your name written across it in red ink. Someone is preparing to make a move that could change your life overnight, and it all began the moment they discovered you possess something they desperately want. The air around you feels heavier lately, doesn't it? It's not imagination, it's spiritual tension. Every step you take has been monitored by eyes that pretend to be silent, yet behind those eyes, there's a plan forming faster than you can see. The lawyer is not coming for justice, they're coming for possession. They've been hired to dig into your past, your name, your records, and the two things that hold unimaginable value under your identity. And the frightening part is, those two things are not material, they are divine signatures tied directly to your destiny. Heaven watched this unfold long before it reached your doorstep. You were marked with favor, with inheritance, with the power of dual abundance, one in the realm of the seen and one in the unseen. That is why they're after you, because they believe if they can get your signature, they can claim what belongs only to your soul. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They think you're unaware, but Archangel Michael has already placed protection around your energy. Even as they prepare their documents, your name glows with divine light that no earthly lawyer can override. They cannot access what heaven sealed before your birth. You've been sensing it, that strange message request, that unknown call, that letter you almost opened but something told you not to. That was divine interception. Because what's being prepared isn't just paperwork, it's a trap written in legal ink to confuse you. Someone from your past, someone who once smiled in your presence, whispered your name in the wrong circle. That whisper became a rumor, that rumor became a case, and that case became the reason the lawyer is now tracing your every digital step. But what they didn't expect was that the light around you would expose their hidden motive before it reaches your door. The two things you hold are sacred, one represents a divine promise, and the other, an unclaimed miracle with your signature on it. Both are meant to be unlocked before this year ends. That's why the interference began, to delay what was meant to bless you. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Archangel Michael says your silence has been your greatest shield. You didn't respond to the bait, you didn't sign anything rushed, and that is why heaven can now move freely on your behalf. The angels are rearranging legal lines as you read this, removing traps, exposing false witnesses, and redirecting outcomes. In the next few days, someone will try to help you, but their intention won't be pure. They'll ask you to trust them, to sign quickly, to let them handle something simple. But that's exactly where the falsehood hides, in the rush, in the charm, in the offer that seems too convenient. Archangel Michael says, the true letter, the real document, will arrive directly from a divine source, with confirmation through repeated signs. You'll see a number twice, feel warmth across your hands, and know instinctively what is true and what is not. Do not ignore those feelings, that's heaven alerting you of the hidden scheme. Right now, heaven is shifting the courtroom of destiny in your favor. Those who thought they could use law against you will soon be silenced by divine order. And the same lawyer that came to take from you will end up testifying for you. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The first sign will come through an unexpected message, maybe a delayed email, maybe a silent call. When that happens, stay calm and remember this. You have two gifts within you that no earthly power can remove. The first is your voice, it carries divine authority. The second is your patience, it commands timing itself. They are trying to rewrite a prophecy that was never meant to be in their hands. But heaven has already sealed the outcome, your name is written in light, and no false testimony can touch it. The energy you feel building around you is not fear, it's preparation, your blessing is about to shift dimensions. Those who mocked you for being quiet will watch in disbelief when they see how heaven moves in your defense. A sudden reversal will take place. Something that seemed lost or delayed will return multiplied, and the same people who wanted to take will be forced to restore. Type Amen to get blessing 666. At night, when you can't sleep, that's not anxiety, it's the divine legal team working. Heavenly scribes are editing your timeline, removing every negative signature written by envy or deceit. That's why you've been feeling sudden chills or goosebumps, it's not random, it's divine rewriting. Archangel Michael stands before you with the sword of truth. He is not just defending your name, he's preparing your next chapter, one where your abundance can no longer be misused. Even those who thought they could manipulate outcomes will face divine exposure within days. Your two blessings, the unseen inheritance and the spoken decree, will soon merge. That union will bring not just wealth, but authority, freedom, and elevation. You'll be given a platform, a stage, or a moment where your name will carry power it never did before. The lawyer came for something physical, but heaven revealed the real value is spiritual. They can't hold what they don't understand. And by the time they realize, it'll be too late, heaven's verdict will already be in your favor. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You've noticed the signs, papers delayed, meetings cancelled, people backing away suddenly. That's not coincidence, it's divine confusion sent to those plotting against you. They cannot proceed because the spiritual realm has shut every door meant for harm. Soon, you'll receive an unexpected confirmation, maybe through a dream, a random song lyric, or an encounter that feels like déjà vu. That will be your divine receipt. It'll mark the moment heaven's law overtakes earthly confusion. Archangel Michael says your case has been reviewed by heaven's highest order. No power, no decree, no false report can stand against the seal that now covers your life. Your enemies thought they could use rules, but heaven has rewritten them in your favor. By the next sunrise, something heavy will lift from your chest. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more stable. That's the sign the legal curse has been broken. Everything that was held back is being released into your hands now. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You were never meant to live in fear of paperwork or signatures. You were chosen to live as a sign of divine victory, proof that light wins over manipulation. What was written against you has been erased. What was hidden for you is about to appear. Two paths will now open before you, both bright, both blessed. One will lead to restoration, and the other to recognition. You will not have to choose, heaven will merge them into one miracle that carries your name. Every lie told against you will soon be met with undeniable truth. You won't need to explain or defend. Everything will unfold in perfect divine timing. Those who doubted you will whisper again, but this time in awe, not malice. The lawyer was just a distraction, a test to see if you'd break under pressure. But you stood firm. And because you did, heaven is rewarding you with something double, double honor, double peace, double breakthrough. Type Amen to get blessing 999. A quiet miracle is forming behind the scenes. It's linked to an inheritance or opportunity someone once denied you. Soon, that door will swing open again, but this time, the signature required will be yours alone. You won't have to fight, plead, or chase. Everything that belongs to you will begin to seek you. It will find you through divine coordinates, places, faces, and times that feel too perfectly aligned to be coincidence. Archangel Michael says your timeline has shifted. The pursuit against you has been cancelled, the decree reversed, and your name marked with victory. From this moment forward, every earthly system that once resisted you will now bow in your favor. Keep your faith strong, stay calm, and walk with quiet confidence. The lawyer came with a motive, but heaven intervened with a miracle. And when the final paper arrives, it will not be a warning, it will be confirmation that you've already won. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says your name is now echoing through both realms, one of justice, and one of destiny. There's a sudden reversal happening even as you breathe, an unseen meeting where the same lawyer who once prepared to take from you is being confronted by truth. Their voice trembles because they've seen something in your file that can't be explained by law, a divine marking. Behind every sealed envelope, heaven hid a blessing waiting for the right timing. What they thought were documents of accusation are transforming into documents of inheritance. Your signature, once used as bait, is becoming the key that unlocks your next level. Even your silence has power now. Each day you refuse to react, heaven rewrote another line of your destiny. The one who tried to expose you unknowingly exposed themselves, their motives, their greed, their secret alliances. The reason you have two is because you were chosen to carry double grace. Double wisdom to see truth and double favor to walk through closed gates. That's why resistance came, not because you were weak, but because your light was too strong to ignore. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Heaven knows you've cried quietly at night, wondering why everything felt delayed. But those delays were divine edits, ensuring your story couldn't be rewritten by human hands. What they meant to use against you has been turned into proof of your purity. There's a phone call coming, and when it does, you'll sense the energy shift before the voice even speaks. They'll try to sound confident, but their tone will waver. That's when you'll know heaven already touched the situation before you answered. The lawyer will soon realize they're entangled in something far beyond their comprehension. What began as a legal pursuit is turning into a spiritual revelation. Their client will vanish from the case, leaving confusion where manipulation once stood. This is divine strategy in motion, no confrontation, just quiet victory. Every weapon formed through paper, word, or intention is being turned back into light. You are protected by decree, not debate. Type Amen to get blessing 222. In the spirit realm, scrolls are being opened, scrolls written with your name and purpose. Each one contains records of promises you didn't even know existed. That's what the enemy was trying to steal, not money, but destiny. Heaven has now sealed those scrolls again, but this time under stronger protection. No lawyer, judge, or earthly power can tamper with what's written. Your inheritance is no longer pending, it's processing. A transfer is coming, and it's not in the form you expect. It might be property, or wealth, or an unexpected letter that turns into opportunity. Whatever it is, it carries the same two divine seals they tried to take: abundance and recognition. You'll notice small signs before it happens. Birds lingering longer near your window. A sudden stillness before dawn that feels like heaven holding its breath. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says the war is already won, even though the world hasn't caught up yet. Your name is being whispered in new circles. Not in rumor, but in recommendation. Someone who once doubted you will now mention you to the very person meant to open your next door. That's how heaven redeems time, by using what was meant to delay you as your divine announcement. The lawyer who chased you will walk away confused, muttering about how every plan just fell apart. They won't realize that angels were rewriting signatures and redirecting intentions in real time. Heaven's courtroom operates on peace, not panic. That's why your stillness was your weapon. Every time you chose silence over reaction, you summoned victory without knowing it. There's a divine memo circulating in the unseen. It reads, "The case is closed. The child is cleared. Double restoration authorized." This decree has already reached the very atmosphere around your home. That's why the air feels different, lighter, freer, charged with purpose. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You were never being punished, you were being positioned. Heaven wanted the enemy to exhaust every option before revealing how untouchable your destiny really is. Now that they've run out of plans, your blessings are being released without resistance. The two you carry are merging. One is your gift, the ability to speak life where others see loss. The other is your reward, everything that was stolen from your timeline is returning multiplied. There will be an invitation soon, perhaps to a place or conversation that feels unfamiliar. Go with calm confidence, for heaven will speak through your presence. The same lawyer who once worked against you will feel compelled to apologize. Archangel Michael stands nearby as witness to your vindication. He is smiling now, because the story that started as fear is ending as triumph. Heaven has made you the headline of redemption. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Even the documents that once caused dread will now bring joy. What arrives next will carry approval, not accusation. And when you read your name on it, your spirit will recognize divine closure. You'll see numbers repeating, perhaps 1111 or 1221, each a signal of completion. You'll feel a warmth on your left side, a subtle sign that Archangel Michael's shield is near. That's the moment you'll know the case is not only over, but reversed. Your story is turning into testimony. The people who once whispered, "They're in trouble," will soon whisper, "They're chosen." And those who doubted your endurance will wish they had stood by you. The time of fear has passed. The time of divine settlement has begun. Heaven is signing off your miracle with golden ink tonight. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Soon, everything you lost faith in will start moving again: paperwork, communication, opportunities, people. Doors that were locked for years will suddenly swing open. It will look like coincidence, but it's pure divine timing. Heaven is balancing every scale that once felt unfair. Your patience is being rewarded in dimensions far beyond material return. You're being elevated into a realm where only truth can touch you. Archangel Michael says the next few days will feel surreal. You'll sense a peace that's too deep to explain. That's heaven's verdict delivered in spirit. Every false report has been erased, every misunderstanding corrected. Now you stand where no lie can reach. The lawyer who came for you will one day tell others about your light. Your story will become proof that heaven always wins in silence. Type Amen to get blessing 777. When the world sees your rise, they won't understand how you did it. But you'll know, it was divine law rewriting earthly limitation. You'll walk into new spaces, and people will feel the energy shift instantly. Your presence will carry quiet authority. Even leaders will listen when you speak. And what was once a painful chapter will become your greatest credential. Archangel Michael has moved from defender to guide. Now, he's preparing you for leadership, abundance, and recognition. Heaven is placing you where others once tried to remove you from. So, breathe deeply, stay grateful, and trust that everything unfolded exactly as planned. The case that began against you has turned into a crown placed upon you. And as of this very moment, heaven has declared, you are free, favored, and fully restored. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The silence before dawn carried a strange calm. You could feel something shifting, like heaven inhaling before speaking. Then it happened. The lawyer who once pursued you woke up with trembling hands and an undeniable urge to make things right. They couldn't explain it, but all night they had dreamt of you standing surrounded by light. Every time they tried to ignore it, their heart raced faster, their breath shallower, until they finally realized this was no ordinary dream. It was a divine summons, an instruction from forces greater than law itself. By morning, they tore the papers they had prepared. The same documents meant to take from you were now ashes scattered by divine intervention. And before noon, they called the very client who had ordered your downfall, not to obey, but to withdraw. Heaven had turned the entire system upside down overnight. Those who spoke lies were struck by exposure. Those who plotted in darkness suddenly found their names at the center of the light. Type Amen to get blessing 999. When Archangel Michael moves, he doesn't make noise, he makes results. And this time, the result was justice manifesting as a miracle. Every false word uttered about you began collapsing like sandcastles under a divine tide. The lawyer couldn't stop crying. They confessed that when they looked at your name, it felt like staring into holy fire. Their spirit whispered, "This one is protected. Do not touch." Heaven used that moment as revelation. The lawyer who came to harm you now became your intercessor. They began to speak on your behalf, declaring your innocence before those who doubted you. The entire narrative flipped in one single day. What was supposed to be an accusation turned into an announcement. And you, the target, became the testimony. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Archangel Michael says heaven never allows injustice to finish its sentence. Before the enemy can sign your downfall, heaven rewrites the page. That's exactly what happened. Divine ink covered every lie before it could reach your reality. You'll soon hear a phrase that will mark this shift: we found something interesting in your favor. When you do, smile quietly, that's heaven revealing the hidden key to your restoration. Because those, too, they were after. They were your double inheritance, spiritual and material. The first is spiritual, a divine mantle you receive through endurance. You've been purified through betrayal, silence, and patience. That's what made you ready for authority. The second is tangible, wealth, property, or access being restored after years of delay. Both are tied to your name, and neither can be transferred. That's why heaven had to protect them, because one moment of weakness could have signed away decades of promise. But now, the timing is perfect, the documents will appear again, but this time with your victory printed across them. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Something bigger than the courtroom is happening now. A ripple in your destiny has reached across borders, drawing the attention of people you've never met. Opportunities are aligning, new doors, new circles, new invitations, and each one carries your divine signature. The lawyer's confession was the signal, now the transfer begins. Your energy field is shifting, from defense to dominion. You're no longer being protected from loss, you're being positioned for leadership. You'll soon find yourself being mentioned in conversations about influence, wisdom, and prosperity. Not because you asked, but because heaven decided it's your time to be seen. What they tried to hide from you is about to be revealed in full daylight. Archangel Michael says the same pen used to draft lies will now write your promotion. The same lips that spread rumors will now announce your restoration. And heaven will make sure everyone witnesses your rise in divine timing. Type Amen to get blessing 333. When you receive your first confirmation, maybe a message, maybe a payment, maybe a letter, pause for a moment of gratitude. That's the start of your double portion unfolding. One blessing will arrive quietly, the other will come loud, unstoppable, undeniable. Heaven's math is simple, what was delayed is not cancelled, it's doubled. That's why it took this long, the time gap was just space for multiplication. Now, every seed of faith you've ever planted is bearing fruit all at once. There will be a moment soon where you'll feel your chest lighten. A warmth will spread through you, not emotion, but activation. That's heaven finalizing the transfer. Archangel Michael has signed your deliverance. You'll never have to explain your worth again, heaven already proved it publicly. Your story has become evidence that divine justice always arrives, even if delayed. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They're already talking. People who doubted you are beginning to ask how you survived everything. But you'll only smile, because you know. Protection doesn't announce itself, it simply performs. You've stepped into a season where everything feels aligned. The air feels lighter, time feels slower, intuition feels stronger. You can sense what's coming before it arrives, because you're finally in divine rhythm. The lawyer now tells your story with reverence. They describe how something supernatural interrupted their mission. How every printer jammed, every document glitched, every meeting collapsed until they gave up. That's not coincidence. That's what divine interference looks like when heaven guards its chosen. And from this day forward, your name will no longer be followed by suspicion, but by honor. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Heaven is now sending replacements. New allies are rising, people who carry truth in their voices and loyalty in their hearts. They are being drawn to you, magnetically, spiritually, inevitably. Each of them is a piece of your next chapter. They'll help you expand, build, and walk into everything once promised. Even those who left will feel the pull to return, not for apology, but for alignment. Your energy no longer attracts chaos, it attracts destiny. Every connection will now serve purpose, not distraction. That's the power of divine legal reversal. Everything that was stolen returns improved. The story that started with fear ends with freedom. The lawyer who once caused anxiety becomes the symbol of your confirmation. And heaven closes this chapter with a single phrase: case dismissed. Victory sealed. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Now the world is watching. You've become living proof that light outlasts manipulation. Your journey will inspire others who've been falsely accused, abandoned, or overlooked. You'll speak one day, maybe in a room, maybe through your art, maybe in silence, and people will feel something powerful. They'll sense that divine favor didn't just protect you, it redefined you. You'll carry authority that can't be bought, only bestowed. Archangel Michael now walks beside you, not as a guard, but as a guide. You're being led into expansion, new territory, new influence, new recognition. Everything you once feared is now fuel for your destiny. The enemy tried to bring you to court. Heaven brought you to the throne. And now, you reign over everything that once tried to break you. Type Amen to get blessing 777.